The stock market does not like uncertainty, and it currently hates the tariffs. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. Joe Werbert coming at you. And Donald Trump's tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China have really upset the stock market to the point that the Nasdaq just recently entered and exited correction territory. Now, correction territory is where the stock market goes from a high to a low, and that low exceeds a 10% loss. Now, this has not happened over the last few weeks, but the majority of the losses have occurred since Donald Trump announced that he would be placing tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China. And a 10% pullback is not uncommon. It is a time for us to pause and reflect on what do we think the future holds. Now, over the last decade, we have seen 12 different corrections in the Nasdaq. And the positive thing is the following 12 months post-correction have gained around 12% on average. The only time the stock market has not had a massive return post-correction was during COVID, 2020 and 2022. In 2022, we saw the next 12 months were still negative in the Nasdaq. And in 2020, we saw only a 2% return. But every other time over the last decade, when the Nasdaq posted a 10% loss or a correction, we saw double-digit gains. Now, just because something has happened 99 times in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen the 100th time. But I'm seeing pretty positives in this economy, which would lead me to believe that we could see a good return. So this might not be a time for us to panic and sell out. This could be a time for us to think about maybe investing more if you have cash sitting on the sidelines. And as I said in my last video, there's over $6 trillion sitting on the sidelines. So it'll be interesting to see, do we begin to see that money move from the sidelines and get invested in the stock market? So what did the stock market do? We saw the Nasdaq lose about 10%. We saw the S&P pull back about 6%, and the Dow Jones was down about 5%. Now on Friday, we did see the markets have a positive return. That does not mean that we're out of the woods yet. It just means we have to be cautious. We have to be looking at this, and now is not a time to make rash decisions. Even Jerome Powell came out and had a few words to say about the tariffs. Number one, he's worried that these tariffs could cause inflation to creep up again. And number two, he's also worried that these tariffs are going to cause economic uncertainty, which tells him it's not time for him to resume cutting interest rates. So we have to keep a close eye on that, because up until this point, Powell has been the one who has been moving the markets. But now we're seeing Trump take over that role. And unfortunately, right now, he's been moving the markets negatively. Let's hope that these tariffs either work themselves through the economy and the stock markets are happy again. I don't think they're going to be the end of our economy. Again, I don't think this is a time where we're going to see the economy overall have a correction or move into bear market territory. But it's a time for us to sit back and look at the numbers and realize we've been here before. We've seen losses in the stock market before, and historically speaking, we've come out of them okay. However, I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to be watching this closely. So check back every week to make sure you're getting the right information, not just the craziness you're seeing in the news. If you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment down below, check out some of my other videos, and as always, I'll see you next time.